Hello again. Let's try this one more time. I think we're in the right direction now. I had you on the side of your head. Hello and welcome. Melanie here from Mel's Inky Fingers. I'm just trying to keep it together these days. I hope you had an amazing week and you're looking forward to some really cute projects today. So we are going to create with the absolutely adorable Fruit Salad Designer Series paper. This paper is just so cute, and this is a paper collection that you can earn free during celebration until the end of the month or while supplies last. So I know this has been very popular, and we are going to make a whole set of cards today. Super fast little layout that I have chosen to share with you, and you can use any Designer Series paper collection to create a set of cards like I'm going to show you today. So I'm going to give everyone just a couple of minutes to find us, and then we are going to dive in and get started. I do have a couple of announcements to share with you before we get too far into our creating. But when you jump on, say hello. Let me know you're here. It's always nice to know who I get to share some time creating with on Friday afternoon. So let's see. Let's start by talking a little bit about Celebration. So Celebration is coming to a close here before we even know it. We have about 2 weeks left, and then the items in this catalog will no longer be available. So everything that you see in this catalog is something that you can earn free as a thank you gift when you shop in my online store between now and February 28th. And these items are while supplies last. There are a couple of things that are running as low inventory. So if there's something in here that you love, you may want to grab it while you can before it's gone. This is one of the items I know that's low inventory, and I don't know if we've gotten any more of these back in stock or not, but this heart-shaped bundle, which is beautiful, that's an item that was also low in inventory. So if you love free things, now's the time to shop. This is a great time to renew your Paper Pumpkin subscription because you get free celebration items and then your Paper Pumpkin set for the year. This is a great time to stock up on cardstock, envelopes, adhesives, maybe replace your paper snips so you have nice sharp scissors to work with while you earn free things. Now, if you have a very long wish list and would like to be part of my Stampin' Up team and part of the Stampin' Up community, now is an amazing time to join my team because you get the choice of 2 options with your starter kit this month. Hi, Joan, welcome. Oh, it's nice to have you here. So until February 28th, if you would like to join the Stampin' Up community, Stampin' Up is offering an extra bonus with the starter kit, and that's here on page 16 of the celebration flyer. Normally, the starter kit is only $99 plus tax. It ships to you free, and you get to choose any $125 of items that you would like to include in your starter kit. However, until February 28th, you get to choose an additional bonus. You can either choose an additional $30 in free product, or if you would like some Stampin' Right markers, you get to choose 2 of the 4 color families. It's your choice which 2 you would like. And Stampin' Up will also include a specially designed stamp set, and those 3 items will be included as a bonus, and that's a $91 value. I mean, that's incredible. And the Stampin' Right markers are fabulous. I am still using some of my Stampin' Right markers that I got when I was a brand new stamper back in 1990. They're that old and they still work great. But Stampin' Up did also revamp the style of their bullet tip a couple of years ago, and they are fabulous. So I highly recommend the Stampin' Right markers. But this is an incredible value. It takes your starter kit up over $220 in value, and Stampin' Up even includes a Paper Pumpkin kit with your starter kit. So that's another $22 in product that you get. So it's really a fabulous value. If you have any questions, please reach out. I'm always happy to help you. You get to shop with a discount anytime you would like, plus have all the resources available, plus early access to products, which is super exciting. All right. Hi, Teresa. Welcome. Thanks for joining. So the February Creatively Inked Kit enrollment period is also coming to a close. You have until the 20th to subscribe to Creatively Inked to receive the Linked Together kit. Now, the Linked Together bundle is the feature this month. It's fabulous. It has this really great sentiment set. It has a super cool die set that has a lot of really neat accents. And then there is the Linked Together decorative mask set, which is super fun to work with. Here I was doing a little bit of playing. You can see how that looks. So this is the feature this month, or you can choose to use something you have on hand to create your kit. Here's a sneak peek, but I have something better because I'm going to show you sneak peeks of what you will make this month. So you will make 5 projects that use the Linked Together bundle. They're beautiful. Lots of cool techniques using the masks and adding a lot of texture to your projects. You are going to use some embossing paste, which is, here's a little remnant of some of the cool things that we did with the embossing paste. And then you will receive a completed card in your kit, plus about $20 of Stampin' Up product. And you will use some of it to create your projects, and the rest you can continue to create with on your own after you've completed your kit. So for only $39, you will receive all that, plus an incredible PDF tutorial, plus 1 video tutorial, an overview video reviewing your kit with tips and tricks of putting everything together. And you get a discount on the feature if you choose to add it to your kit. So it's always a great time to give this a try. You can cancel anytime. There's no minimum number of months you need to subscribe. And it's just a really fun kit to work with. All right. So if you missed out on product shares, I do have just a couple of things left. I still have a paper share remaining. I have a set of paper samplers left. If you missed out, let me know. I'd be happy to send these off to you. Okay. All right, so let's get to our creating for the day. Today we are going to make some absolutely adorable and very easy little square note cards. I've been on a square note card kick recently. I co-hosted a team event for our national team, and I made some square cards at that featuring some of the new products. And I've just really kind of stuck with it and made some really cute square cards today, using the Fruit Salad Designer Series paper collection, which is one of your free celebration items. It's absolutely adorable, tons of different fruits. You have both sides that coordinate with a specific fruit, which makes it really fun and easy to work with. Like you have citrus, you have apples, you have bananas and mixed fruit, just super, super cute. Some pears. It has been a lot of fun to work with this. I have made a lot of projects. So I thought I would show you this really easy little layout and how easy it is to work with Designer Series paper and an easy layout like this to make sets of little cards that you can then gift. And it's a really nice way to use up bits of maybe ribbon that you have laying around, or odds and ends of embellishments, because they don't necessarily have to match. And so this is what we're going to work with today. We are going to make 2 of these together to complete a set of 5. And I'm going to pull in a couple of extra things when I make the 2 that we'll make together. So for these, I used the Simply Said stamp set. This is just a great sentiment set that you could use to make all occasion cards. It works for just about anything you may need. And this is from the annual catalog up by the Mix and Match section of the catalog. And then I am just using a very simple Memento black ink pad to stamp all of those sentiments. So I'm keeping it really simple. Then you can choose whatever paper collection you would like to work with. So today we're featuring fruit salad, but you may want to try this and feature a different collection that you have on hand that you haven't had a chance to work with yet. So that's what makes this fun, is it really works with just about anything that you might want to use. All right. So I went through my designer series paper and selected a couple of patterns that I had not yet made for this collection. And I thought the first one we would work with would be this really cute citrus. And I'm using 2 of the patterns on this project. I had been only using one paper, and I'd been using the front for a part of it and the back for another part of it. But the 2 we're going to do together, I'm going to pull in and coordinate some patterns together. So I thought the background for our citrus card would be really cute, done with this big, giant, really zoomed in orange section. And then I thought the focal piece in the center would be really cute, done with this piece here, which is a little smaller scale. It works a little better for the 3x3 piece that we're going to cut and layer on the front of it. So isn't that a cute combination? So you can really mix and match to use whatever patterns you would like. So let's talk about what you will need. So I cut down the orange section piece to 4 1/4 inch square to work on this 4 1/4 by 8 1/2 inch card base, and this is scored in half at 4 1/4. This is going to make a 4 1/4 inch square card, and we're just going to put that piece on the front like this to make a full front layer. Then what we're going to need for our front piece is I kept all of these middle sections 3 inch square, and I layered it on a 3 1/8 inch square of coordinating or contrasting cardstock. So you can choose to either match your card base or contrast a little bit. So you can see on all of these, I went with a contrasting color. So I pulled out the brown, which is the pecan pie on the banana card. I went with black for the watermelon to help pull out those seeds a little bit. And then on the pineapple card, again, I wanted to pull out some of the accents. You could have gone with green or with the brown on this one, and I went with brown and did pecan pie. And on the orange card, I'm going to go with a coordinating color to my card base, which is the pumpkin pie. All right, so let's adhere these together and assemble these layers. You can choose to do Stampin' Seal or liquid glue, whatever works easiest for you. And you can put that here. So we're doing a 3 inch designer series paper piece that is an accent pattern to the full size layer that's going to be on our card front. So this is 3 inches square on a piece of 3 1/8 inch square coordinating cardstock. Hi, Simone. It's nice to have you here. I've missed you. It's been a while. Happy Valentine's Day to you as well. I hope you have a very fun day lined up. All right, so I'm just going to add this here to my card front and use your level working surface to get this nice and square on your card, okay? And then now we're going to layer this on the front. And I'm going to put this on with Stampin' Dimensionals. If you would rather have it flat, you can. But before I do that, I want to think just a little bit because I may want to add a little accent. So I have pulled in a couple of coordinating embellishments. So this is the 1/8 inch Daffodil Delight ribbon. This is from the January to April mini catalog. I've been enjoying this. And then I have pulled in the 2024-2026 in color resin dots, and these peach pie dots really coordinate nicely with the orange and the gold. So I thought we would use some of those. And then this is a scrap of like a mixed fruit paper, and I thought it would be really cute to cut out one of these little orange slices and add it as an accent. So I have a scrap of this here. And then we are going to add a sentiment. So I'm going to set these aside, set that here, pull out our black ink, and we can decide what sentiment that we would like to add. I think it might be nice to maybe do the thinking of you. Oh, and oranges and the citrus would make a really cute get well card. Now on these projects, I just used strips of basic white cardstock and used little scraps to do the sentiments. But I die cut some labels using a couple of my favorite die sets. So this is the Nested Essentials dies, and I cut out a little tiny banner in case we wanted to do the yay. But I also used this mixed labels die set. These are new. This is one of the online exclusives, and I'm using this middle one here and the biggest one in case I die cut those in case we wanted to use them. And I really like the detail on here. I think it's really pretty. So I thought, oh, maybe we want those just in case. So if we do the thinking of you, I think that'll fit nicely on this smaller one. And I'm thinking maybe a birthday wishes to go on this one for our next project. So we could also do yay on this little one. The miss you would fit on there. The hello would fit on there. So they're just really cute to work with. So let's do the thinking of you. Oh, thanks, Simone. Oh, nice. You're getting ready for work. That's great news. Okay. So I have my block here. Let's put the thinking of you on there. And we're going to ink this up in our black Memento ink. So let's get this nice and inked up. And then stamp this here in the center. Look how pretty that is. It's just simple, but the detailing on this beautiful die makes a big difference. It's really pretty. So once we do that, we can decide if we want to wrap some ribbon all the way around. I think we will. So I think I'm going to wrap this around a couple of times. I think that's kind of pretty. So let's go with that and trim this a little long so we can make a bow. And we can tie this. I'll make a pretty little bow here. That'll make a really nice front accent. Now I really like 1/8 inch ribbon. This is really loose. All right, so if you have trouble keeping your ribbon nice and tight, let me show you a little trick. So I'm going to take a glue dot and my take your pick tool, and I am going to lift one of the dots, and you can just kind of estimate where you want your bow to rest, and then you can kind of push that down right on there like that. And now it's going to hold it tight for you so that you can tie your bow and it will keep your ribbon nice and tight without you having to hold that tight while you're trying to tie your bow. And see how nice that turns out? Doesn't that work well? So now that we have our ribbon around there, let's put some dimensionals on the back. And place this in the center of our card front. And again, this is a really simple layout that you can use over and over. It would work with pretty much any paper patterns that you might want to use. And then you can trim your ends to whatever length you want them. Isn't that pretty? And then I'm just going to kind of tuck this kind of like that, and that allows that beautiful yellow bow to pop. And we'll put a couple of dimensionals on the back of this. And I'm going to kind of keep them up along the edge here so that they don't sit on the ribbon. We don't want our sentiment to be kind of wiggly or uneven over the ribbon that's there. So we'll do this. And then let's just add this kind of offset a little bit to the side and hanging off the edge. I like that. And then last but not least, let's bring in our 2024 to 2026 in color resin dots. And we will add a few of these onto our project, okay? So let's take your pick tool, and we can do a couple of the larger ones. Look how cute those look. Now you might not think to use peach pie with the golds and the oranges, but do you see how great that looks? It's a really nice color combination. I think that's really cute. And then last but not least, let's take a 4-inch square of basic white, and we are going to put this inside our little note card so that we have a nice place to write a sweet little note to our recipient. You could also choose to stamp another sentiment here if you wanted. And there is our note card. Isn't that super cute? So simple. These come together really quick and easy. They look great with any designer series paper pattern that you might want to use. And it's such a nice way to use a variety of your embellishments and ribbons and trims. So let's set this aside with our other 3. And then we will move on and make our last card, which will be a little birthday card to go with our collection. And I have a story to tell you about last week. Oh, wait, actually, you know what? Well, actually, I like it. I was going to add this cute little orange accent, but I think I kind of like it without it with this beautiful little label. So I think I'm going to leave it just as is. All right, so let's talk about what we're going to use for our next card. So let's pull in our designer series paper, and I'm going to use this adorable apple print. Let's find it. Here it is. Isn't that adorable? Oh, thanks. I'm glad you like it, Simone. It is a great color idea, isn't it? So I think this paper is super cute. I love the little apples. To me, they look like little eyes looking back at you. Aren't those cute? And I thought it would make a super cute card. So I'm going to work with a 4 1/4 inch piece of this. And we're going to use a real red card base. And this card base is cut 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. And it's scored at 4 1/4 to create another square card base. And this is going to go on the front like this. And then for this piece, I'm actually going to use a coordinating piece of green that is the mixed fruit background. I like the pop of green to pull in the green apples a little bit with the red coordinating cardstock behind it. I thought that was a really cute combination. And then let's pull in one of our larger die cut labels, and we will make this a happy birthday from our Simply Said stamp set. We'll use this birthday wishes. So let's put that on on our stamp. I wasn't sure what I wanted to use when I pulled this together. So we'll do birthday wishes, and we're going to stamp that in black. And then for embellishments, I thought it would be really cute to use some of our black twine just to create a little bow. So here's a piece that I cut, and this is from the Baker's Twine Essentials pack. And then I thought it would be cute to use some of these petal pink and peacock gems. These are really pretty. You can see how the pink is a really nice accent. It coordinates really beautifully with the background. So we'll use some of those. And then I have a scrap piece. This is what's on the back. That would be really pretty as well to even create a layer. But I thought it would be cute to cut this apple and just kind of put it on as a little focal point and bring that red through the center of our project. So that's what we're going to use. So let's start by stamping our sentiment. And I'll tell you my awful experience last week and why I wasn't here. So last week I had to make an unexpected trip to help a family member who is having some very serious health issues. And I had to do a little bit of driving to help with transportation to get to where her medical care was going to be. And on the way home, I was coming through Chicago and my truck just died. I was in busy Chicago traffic, 6 lanes wide, and all of a sudden my transmission decided it was the perfect time to not work. It was terrifying. So I wound up being stranded in Chicago last week. My poor husband had to come get me, and we didn't have very good luck finding someone who could help me repair my car. So we actually hauled it home on a flatbed truck. Oh my goodness, it was not a fun experience at all. And so that's where I was last week. I was trying to get myself and my vehicle that was not running home from Chicago. It's been quite a week, let me tell you, but fortunately it's in the shop being fixed now. I'm not going to have it for a couple of weeks, but hopefully when I get it back, it's going to work great. So here we are. I'm so glad to be here this week. And I'm so sorry I didn't even post last week. I was so caught up in trying to figure everything out between my family who needed my help and my truck being broken, and terrified that my husband was not going to be able to make it over to get me. So here is our card parts now. So let's take a look. So here's our first card that we did. So we have our card base with our 4 1/4 inch piece of designer series paper on the card base. We have our center piece, which is our 3-inch piece of designer series paper on our 3 1/8 inch piece of coordinating cardstock, and that's going to go on the front. This one, I'm going to add this very beautiful mixed labels die cut, and we'll add a little black bow. And then let's fussy cut this really cute little apple. And we're going to use this as a little accent. So I'm going to cut right on the real red border here because there's some colored overlap behind it, and we don't want that to show even though it matches. But we'll cut around this stem. Hi, Chris. Oh, hi, Julie. Yes, I am okay, although there were moments in time when I didn't think I was going to be. I had some very close calls, as you can imagine, being in Chicago traffic and having a vehicle that is dead. But fortunately, we are all okay. So look how cute that is. And I'm going to cut out this tiny little leaf here. And we're going to use that as well. So these are very easy to cut out. All the little fruit that I have fussy cut, they're very easy to cut. They've got very nice clean lines on them. So look how adorable this is. All right, so let's set these here and add some Stampin' Dimensionals to this piece here. Hi, Lori, welcome. All right. So we're going to put some of the bigger dimensionals back here. You could use some more black twine and wrap around this layer if you wanted. That would also be very, very cute, like I did with the yellow on the first card. So we're just going to center this 3 1/8 inch layer in the middle of our 4 1/4 inch card. And then we're going to add our birthday wishes. Let's offset it just a little bit. And we'll just put a little bit of liquid glue. You could use any kind of glue that you would like on this. We're just going to offset it a little bit and have just the end hang out a little tiny bit. But let's put this cute little apple up with dimensionals so that it gives it a little extra pop. And then this teeny tiny little leaf, I also want to, whoops, where'd it go? I also want to put that on with a dimensional. So I'm going to take a little mini dimensional and cut it in half. And then this half should fit. Even if you need to use a little, like take your pick tool, sometimes it's nice to have just something to help put that on with. So I'm just going to set that right on the back, and then we can just put that right kind of like that. Look how cute that is. You get a nice little contrast with the background. And then we can add our cute little black baker's twine bow. And I think if we put this right on the apple stem, that would be really cute. Look how adorable that is. So let's take a mini glue dot, and you could either cut it in half or fold it in half. I like to do like a quarter when I work with twine because it sits really nicely behind the knot. So let's take this and tuck that right at the base of that stem. So cute. We can cut these to whatever length. You can have them a little shorter, a little longer. It's up to you, however you like those. And then last but not least, let's bring in some of these really cute petal pink and pretty peacock metallic foiled gems. They have really pretty little bits of gold in them. So we'll kind of add these. This little guy is stuck down there. You can put that here. And there is our adorable little apple note card. Isn't that cute? This is such a cute little layout. I hope that you try this. I hope you pull out one of your designer series papers and try this really cute little layout. So let's take a closer look now at this adorable note card set that we have created. We have our pineapples, our apple. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Hold on. I forgot to put this in the center. Let's do that. I want to be able to write little notes in here in this cute little note card set. So this is a 4 by 4 inch piece of basic white. It just is a nice layer for the inside to give us a nice place to write. All right. So now let's look at this. We have our pineapples. We have our apples. We have our adorable little oranges. Look at this adorable watermelon. Is that not the cutest? And then this adorable little banana. So now we have this super cute little set of note cards that we can gift. We can put in a little cello and put a little bow on it and gift it to someone. And these are all made with the Fruit Salad Designer Series paper that are part of our celebration items that you can choose as a thank you gift when you shop in my online store between now and February 28th. Oh, you love the pineapples the most, Simone? Aren't those cute? It is so cute. And all I did with this little pineapple is I laid it right over the top of a pineapple that was already there on the paper, and I just popped it up with dimensionals, and the little crown popped up over the top of that little 3x3 layer. Isn't that cute? I thought these were so, so cute. Now I have some good news. Oh, Julie likes the watermelon. I know, isn't it paper adorable? I think it's so cute. And any sentiment set will work. So I used the Simply Said stamp set. This is from our annual catalog, but you could use any sentiment set that you have, and you can mix and match the colors to whatever cardstock you have. You can use up some bits and pieces of ribbons and trims. And on this one, I wanted to show you, I put a piece of linen thread on here, on these two. And I liked the lighter linen thread on this one because it kind of pulled out the lighter brown. But I wanted it to have a little more pop on this one, so I actually colored this with one of the I used the SU 300 Stampin' Blends to give it a little darker brown. Isn't that cute? You just make it what you need it. So I hope you love these. Share with me which one is your favorite, because I would love to know which one you love the most. We have Julie loves the watermelon, Simone loves the pineapple. Tell me which one you love the most. Now, great news, I have saved up some packs of Fruit Salad Designer Series paper because I'm going to be offering a class. So stay tuned and watch for that. And we are going to make some cute little note cards using the Fruit Salad Designer Series paper. So I will send out all the details in my newsletter. It'll be sometime later in March when we do this. So stay tuned and watch for the details on that. All right, do you have any questions? I'll give everyone a chance to ask any questions that they may have. I'm not seeing any questions pop through. Okay, I don't see any questions. All right, everyone. Well, thanks so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe to the February Creatively Inked by the 20th of this month, and you'll have the opportunity to work with this really cool linked together sentiment set and beautiful accent die set and some masks. We are going to make some beautiful projects that I gave you a sneak peek of earlier. I think this one is my favorite, and there's a gift in there that you will be receiving when you get your kit so that you too can make a little gift holder. So I hope I get to create a fun kit and get that off to you as well. So you are most welcome, Simone. Thank you so much for joining. I'm glad you liked the projects today. All right, everyone. You have an absolutely amazing week. I will look forward to seeing you next week. And in the meantime, stay warm and get some stamping in. Bye, everyone.